Hey Besiegers, how you doing today? Okay, we've got quite an exciting one, sort of groundbreaking or water breaking or whatever. Decided to make a little submersible prior to making a main submarine. Right, so as you can see, it's just bare bones. It's just a bunch of ballasts and the thrusters themselves all attached. What this proves is that if you put them in a tight cluster and crank the thrust right up, you get very tight control. The thing is very, very precise. It's not like an airplane or a helicopter or a car. It's just unbelievably precise. So I wanted to test this out first just to see how it went. And I was quite pleased with the result. As you can see, it clips about, no problem at all. It's got a slight goldfishy or fishy movement to it, don't you think? Definitely is the way fish move, they sort of dart about like that. So I thought to myself, well, let's stick some long dangly things on it and see if we can make it actually look like a fish before we go to the submarine. And there you have it. I think that's quite fishy, isn't it? It's just universal joints and some winch and ropes and some springs, all attached from the front and trailing behind, but it does give a very animated look. So I could see me getting interested in this, making all sorts of creatures and what have you. And finally that. So, and I did make one sort of sharky type thing with a movable jaw, lower mandible, and it's just a sort of fantasy creature. Again, just abandon that. Okay, right, it's submarine time. Let's get to it. So here it is. This is what I've spent the last week making, or well, not so much of a week, but a good part of it. It behaves just like the little one does. It's very precise in its movements, but it's also quite slow because of the mass, the sheer size of it, and it's covered in thrusters, so, that's the way it goes. It's empty just now. It's got two big cabins, fore and aft, and that's the periscope gubbins there working, as you see, as we work our way through it, and the propeller at the end is just for show. It's just aesthetics because everything is thruster driven. So let's take it for our first spin. And you see, it's very, very manoeuvrable, tight, clean, easy to control. There we go, surface as well. You've seen the periscope spinning up on the top there. It's not supposed to do that. I just had it mapped wrong because we're going to attach a camera to that later on. As you see, the periscope goes up and down. I spent a bit of time on that as well. That was more difficult to get right than what I thought it was going to be. There you have it. So yeah, it's the dive and surface controls are a piece of cake. It works really well. So that's that. And you see the actual body of the thing is all just braces, sword blades and ballasts. So you will take a wee dive here and then we'll stick a periscope back up through the water and then come up. There it is. And it goes up and down kind of faster than you would expect a periscope to, but you can't have everything 100% realistic all the time. And that's it, heading off overhead. Okay, now to achieve all of these things, I had to check out the thrusters to see how they were working because you can't see them working underwater. So I just switched the water off and went through a bunch of routines, and then the water jets become visible, and it's a different kind of experience altogether. It moves much more freely because there's no water resistance, and it looks amazing. Doing my favourite upside down sort of airboarding type technique there. So I'll do a bit more of this towards the end of the video, where I take it right out of the park and right round, but this was just to see what it's like and if everything's firing okay, which it was. So I think pretty soon, what we go to now will be weapons, of course, because we all like some weapons here and there. I had a trouble landing this. It came in for an unexpected hard landing and sort of twisted all over the place. There you go. Right. Oh yeah, just one more view of this periscope. The speed that it goes up and down at, it pops up, pops down really fast. But it gets up to a good height, and once you put the camera on it, it works really well. You use it for targeting, as you will see just shortly. Just one last view of it turning. That's quite cool, that white band that you get, that effect you get at the back. This just shows you where the water runs out and it's back into open air. Okay, now in this weapon system I used ITR's block spawning mod, the block spawner. And basically what you write a bunch of details into the computer console, telling it to respawn certain blocks, whatever blocks you want, at the press of a key. and you can map a whole bunch of them to one key, which means you can make a missile and have it respawn immediately after you fired it by pressing another key. So you've got infinite missiles of your own design. Pretty damn cool. First time I've used it, and it worked reasonably well. Yeah, it did. In fact, it worked very well, but you have to get used to typing stuff out in the console, and if you're not used to that, that can be a pain. So there we go. It batters off missiles every second or so. It's just amazing. Now this time we're going to climb out of the water, and we're going to do what an ordinary submarine can't do, I don't think, which is fire a torpedo out of the water, and we're going to hit the statue. So this was just to prove the controls, the camera, the missiles, everything all together, that it works to a really tight configuration. Now I did have to creep up this wall, setting off all explosions, because that little brace on the end is set higher than what the actual torpedo comes out on, so it's not properly zeroed. There you go, got it. And then just to show you what it's like, there it is, the nose of the submarine sticking out. Okay. So I blew it up in the end by accident. But the final version's got those 3 missiles in the back and a couple of fireballs there representing a nuclear reactor. So that's quite good. And here we go. Again, 3 missiles in the back, and it's got a set of cannons on the front. It's up to you to calibrate the cannons using MultiMod or whatever to get them to rapid fire. That's up to you. Okay, so we'll take one last spin around the park. Like I said, when just using the air rather than the water, it's nice to watch. It really is. It's a lovely effect. This one I lose control of this one at the edge of the park, and I have to really start mashing on the keys to get it to stay upright, turn around and come home. So it is more difficult than what you would think. That's why we have avionics. Well, in aircraft you have avionics. I don't know what they're called in submarines. Somebody will tell me, I'm sure. Because you just can't make that many decisions quick enough when the thing's blasting around the place. Mind you, submarines don't go that fast, do they? So mods used was the camera mod, MultiMod, ITRs, block spawner mod, usual rotate and water, and increased water cannon. So a whole bunch of them. Again, I'll put them in the description and you can have a look at them. Look at that, the water's pissing out in all directions there. So that's just about it. But I just thought this time, and maybe in a few other times, I'll just put up some options for people who have not seen all my other videos and would like to have a look at them. 2 that I would recommend is the electric tram and the SpaceX Falcon, which is a pretty decent rocket video, so have a look at that. Okay folks, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay, thanks very much. Bye.